and being able to be so effective in tackling and slowing those guys down?
Well, tackling was something that we really emphasized in spring. I believe we had a lot of missed tackles in the 2016 season. So our coaches talk about 3 phases: the tracking, squeezing the air out, getting to the ball carrier, punching the contact, and then finishing, getting them on the ground. So, when it came to New Mexico, it's all about reading your keys and having eye control. So when I was either keying the Y off or the tight end, I was able to see flows and see where the option was going. So then I was able to react fast and play fast. So when I got there, it was up to me to execute those techniques that they taught us.
How big has the tackling aspect been for you guys in the terms of you have not given up very many big plays at all this season?
And yeah, exactly what I was about to say. When you tackle them, most of our explosive plays last year would do the break tackles and breaking our tackles. So now that we're able to get them from the ground and even sometimes take them back and get them for tackle for losses, that could change the momentum. Big hit, touchdown saving tackles, they all help us a lot.
With you guys have the turnover belt. Other teams have like a big bucket and there's a chain and all this crazy stuff. What do you think about that?
I think it's something cool. I see Miami; they have a big chain that says the U. I think it's very creative. It is something that's motivating. It's something that you do want to show off. So I believe we started that in the spring too. We started doing the turnover belt. So it's something that's very fun. Something we all try to get our hands on.
Is your belt one of the cooler ones out there? Because there's a lot of props now.
Yeah, I think we might have to upgrade it. Might have to put like a little spinner on it, and make it spin a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's all about getting those turnovers. That's all we care about.
What are you seeing from Virginia's offense? They had like 600 yards in the last game.
Yeah, the quarterback he went off last week against UConn. I think he had about 450 yards. I think 3 touchdowns. They were all bombs. They have great receivers, big old linemen. They have a weapon in number 4. They're very talented, have a lot of versatility. So it's just us. It's all about us executing our techniques and reading our keys and making our plays.
I think this is like the first regular season ACC team to ever come in here. I know they're not, Louisville or some of the higher known teams maybe right now, but to get a Power 5 team, ACC to come in here to Boise, Friday night on ESPN2, how big of a game is this?
Yeah, no, it's a big game for all of us. I mean, obviously every single game is big for us, but this is ACC team like you're talking about. It's very they're notorious, so this is one of the lifetime chance, one-shot opportunity that we get to showcase our skills and what we can do on the field. So, Friday night is something that we're all preparing for, we're all getting ready for.
You see from their receivers, they had 3 guys over 100 in that last game, and they got, multiple guys, it looks like, I think over 200 yards for the season, too.
Yeah, they have number 14, I believe, is their big receiver, deep threat receiver. He's about 6'3", 225 pounds, very good size. Number 4, he's a little bit smaller, but he's their weapon. Sometimes they put him in the backfield, handing the ball, throw him out to him in the slot, try to send him deep. He's like their weapon guy. So, we have to make sure we know where number 4 is at all times, and as well as protect our deep balls.
We learned yesterday you were able to share co-defensive player of the week with Leighton.
Yeah.
A, how rare is that you guys share the award? And B, what's it mean to you to get that?
It means a lot to me. It means something like that. That was a big part of my team's winning, to be able to contribute like that. But I believe I've ever seen that happen. So to have something like that and to share it with somebody like Leighton, and all the hard work I've seen him put in since spring. Well, really since I got here as a freshman to spring to now, it's a big honor just to be up there standing next to that guy.
People kind of talk about after 3 games, you kind of have a pretty good idea maybe of what a team's going to be or what a group's going to be. I mean, the defense has kind of proven after 3 games, that you guys are, up to the task, I guess. So how nice through 3 games has it been to see what you guys as a group have done?
It's very nice, but there's always work to be done. We could be great for 3 games, and we could be terrible for the next 9. It's always a continuing process. So it's something that we always got to work on each and every day. We can't get complacent. We got to keep working every day, being physical at practice, being smart, reading our keys, and all that. So it's something that we have to work on throughout the year.
When you mentioned Leighton, and I know you said some complimentary things about him after the game, but what does just impress you the most when you think of that guy or you see that guy in practice?
Like I said, man, he's a freak of nature. I've never seen somebody that big and that strong, move that fast, jump that high. I mean, it's amazing how athletic kids shoot. And this fall camp, we go to the rec, and you should see like the dunks he be throwing at like windmill 360 off the backboard. I'm like, it's crazy, but nah, man, he's truly an athletic freak of nature. He's just a one-of-a-kind player.
Is it pretty crazy? I mean, like you said, that guy was a walk-on. He was from Riggins, Idaho. He played 8-man football. I mean, it's got to be pretty crazy. I mean, you played at one of the better high school programs in the country. To see a guy come like that from such a small school.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got here, I didn't even know much about the team. I just seen that giant dude, and I seen him playing linebacker. I'm like, shit, I wouldn't want to be a running back on offense. That's all I knew. But nah, I mean, it's crazy to see his journey, and I know how much he's worked to come this far. So and for him, the production that he's putting on the field, I'm happy to see that's paying off.
DeAndre, we hear so much about the pride you take in film study and knowing your opponents. Just curious, you don't have to go hour by hour, but what's like a typical day in the life like for you as far as film study goes? Like today, preparing for Virginia, how often are you watching film? What are you looking for in tendencies and whatnot?
I mean, we're always looking for tendencies. Obviously, when I first started off watching like their previous game, and then I started watching possibly what they might do on first and second down, run pass wise, third down situations, like to go 4x1, 2x2. I try to find little tendencies or little cheat sheets to see like when it does happen in the game, I'm able to see it, recognize it, anticipate it, and then go make my play.
Is it mental, or do you have a notepad and then you kind of study that notepad the rest of the week, or is it just mental?
Oh no, I have a notepad. My notepad's all the way filled up. I take about like 2 pages about for every team, so I try and write it down, go over it every day, especially probably about like 15 minutes before the game starts. I'm looking at it. It's I feel like when you write it down, it sticks with you longer. Even if I might not look at it, I remember myself writing it down. So that's something that's always helped me throughout that and throughout school.
Are other guys on the defense, doing that too, or was there a guy that you saw that did that last year that you kind of followed in, or is it, are you kind of one of the guys that does it the most? Or?
Well, we all do it, but somebody that I did look up to last year that did it a lot was Chance James. He did it a lot. I mean, every time I would come up, he would be in the film room at least from 10 o'clock till when practice started at 1:30. And I mean, you saw when he was in the game. He had his fair share of what he did, but I mean, I saw him just in the film room just working, and then to see the senior season that he put out, that's what I wanted to do.
Are you a night owl? Do you